Māori te whānau, what's going on? Welcome back to the 99Dreams podcast. I'm your host, Rāori, and if this is your first time listening, welcome in. You found the 99Dreams podcast. But if you're a regular listener, welcome on back. We got a special treat for you guys today. So today, I get to welcome in a good friend of mine. She's pretty hoary sometimes. Nah, but she's actually hella intelligent. She just recently finished up her physio degree down there at Otago. So let's welcome in Tali to the show. What up, Kerr?
Kia ora. Kia ora, kia ora. How's it going?
Good.
Wow.
How have you been?
Yeah, not too bad. Just been slugging along, waiting for this physio license to hurry up and come in so I can finally get out there and earn some real money.
Amen. Well, before we get started, can we just get a bit of a koa noa, who you are, where you're from?
Yeah, sure. Ko kahurana ki te maunga, ko waira ki te awa, ko pokehau te marae, ko te whatui atu te hapu, ko Ngāti Kahununu, me Ngāti Kahu ki Whāngaro, me te Aupauri, me Ngāpuhi, o Kuiwi, so all over the moto. I tell everyone I'm from Hawke's Bay, but grew up in Dannevirke. But case to point. We own it now. But yeah, that's me.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough.
No, mean. Oh, well, welcome to the podcast. I'm glad to have you here. And well, we might as well dive straight into it. You just said you're waiting on your physio license to come. How was that journey and that process to get through your degree?
Oh, it's been one hell of a ride, eh? So, started 2017 down in Dunners, did a founder year because I didn't do all the sciences in high school because, let's be honest, I didn't think I was going to go to uni at all if it wasn't for my Māori teacher who said, come on, Tali, you got a brain. Like, let's use it. I'm like, okay, kids, fight. Me? Righto. So I went down there, did the 2 kahika program, then got into health sci. Didn't quite make the cut. It's all good. We did second year entry and then started my physio degree 2020. And man, that was a challenge and a half. Like how the heck do you learn physio, which is such a hands-on degree, on Zoom? Like that was the biggest challenge for me, trying to learn everything, on Zoom when so I was missing out on practicals. I was missing out on doing all the testings and all kind of stuff, and having to learn anatomy through cast pictures, which was pretty tough. But you know what? We finally got there. It took me a long time, but yeah, finally got it. Finally cracked it. And I didn't even just crack it, which was pretty mean. I managed to suss my degree with credit, so I think that's like second class honours or something, but I was like, oh, extra brain. So it's been a hell of a journey, but so glad I finally made it out at the other end, eh? Yeah.
Not bad for a foundie, eh?
Yeah. Heck yeah. Go do foundie, guys. It helps you. Definitely. It preps you more than high school ever could. Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a bit more about foundie? What's that like?
So foundie is pretty much like uni. So you're doing, you have your 5 lectures a day or 5 lectures. 5 lectures? Nah, probably not 5 lectures. It's probably 5 lectures a week for each paper. So we have physics, chemistry. You have to do an English paper. I think it was also cells and pretty much everything the same, the pre-course into first year health science. But yeah, it's set up exactly like university. So you go to your lecture, then you have your tutorial classes, sit exam, in the lecture theatres, like proper uni work. And then, but the best part of that, groups are quite small. So you're split into streams, and it makes it a lot easier to, have that one-on-one with your lecturer if you're really struggling with stuff. So, for example, physics had no idea whatsoever. But once I had, got a bit more one-on-one with my lecturer, she made it so simple, so easy, for me to understand, because I was like, it's just logic, really. But it's just mean. I highly recommend it, eh? You get rid of all the internals and all of that. Yeah. So it's just, it's all good.
So
Yeah.
you'd say it's like pretty much the best entryway into university if you think
Oh,
you're on the kind of outskirts of it.
yeah, no, 100%. I would, yeah. If it wasn't for the support that's in the foundation, like building from the get go, like it's not just the Māori support that's there. Like you've got free access to all the resources that are available to you. So like your lecturers, your tutors, the material, like even the Māori Centre at the university, they even set up tutorials for you to get ahead, because I think that's the biggest is like making yourself come out of your shell a bit more and go and ask those questions and ask for help, which is something that I learned quite quickly at Foundry, is that no question, dumb question. And if you don't get it, just stay back until you do, because what's the point? It's either a waste of fees otherwise if you're not going to fully give your attention to it. So, yeah, no, it's all about applying yourself. So that was one key takeaway I think I took from Foundry, yeah.
I mean, I guess that could translate into everything too. If you apply yourself throughout your entire degree, shit, sky's the limit, really. But I guess
Pretty
that's a
much.
great platform to help start that mindset. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, where are you doing physio now? Then, where are you employed to go?
So I've been fortunate enough to stay in the Real Bay, Hawke's Bay, and I'm working in a private practice in Hastings, working for Cape Physio. They've got 5 clinics. I was hoping for the Flaxmere clinic just because that's where I had a placement there, but Cape Physio, still working for them as well, which is pretty mean. I'm hella excited, but nervous at the same time as well, because can't pull the I'm a student. I can't. I'll just get my supervisor to just double check. So now it's like the real deal now. But yeah, I'm keen. I'm super excited to get out there and finally, apply everything that I learnt. Because last year, 22 was like a hell of a year. It was me because it was just straight practical. Didn't have to sit exams, didn't have to do any written work or internals as per se. So we just got out there and we finally, had our own patient caseload and got to, integrate and work alongside all the other physiotherapists as well as allied healthcare professionals and health professionals. So that was pretty mean. It was eye-opening. But, I can't wait. Can't wait to get started. It's going to be, the start of the epic career.
Yeah, that's what we love to hear. That's what we love to hear.
Yeah.
So was there a bit of a steep learning curve coming from, like you said, in, 2021 being primarily on Zoom and then coming into 2022, now you're out there putting this shit to real use?
I wouldn't say it was too steep. It was definitely steep when I went into my hospital placement, just because you got to learn all those normative values, and it's like, that's where all the sick people are, right? So one muck up from you can affect everything else from every other health profession that's trying to input into this person's healthcare plan. But it just made sense. It was more of like a light bulb moment every time. Like every day was something like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that's what that lecturer was on about. Oh, that's what, this was on about. So it was, I wouldn't say it was like too steep, but like as long as you know how to communicate effectively with your patients, 4th year, piece of cake. Shouldn't say that, but piece of cake.
So what was one of your biggest challenges outside of having to learn on COVID throughout this entire degree? What was it, your biggest challenge?
Probably like a study and then like social life balance, I would say, was probably one of my biggest challenges, because I'm not going to lie, we as a uni student, we do love having a couple beersies on a thirsty Thursday and wasted Wednesday and and on the weekend.
Might as well Monday.
Yeah, might as well Monday. But it's really important to try and stay on top of that as well. So I think what I had to learn, that if I hadn't done my mahi, I didn't earn the drink on that night, or if I didn't get all I need done, then I can't have the fun. But I think also it was I had to learn how to work quite efficiently under like time pressure as well, because I also had a job all throughout my studies, because living ain't cheap, and so I can't expect mum and dad, bank of mum and dad to always be there ready, willing and able to open up their wallet to help me. But so I also had to juggle work as well, which was pretty tough at times. Grateful all the lecturers and my mates as well, who like would see me struggle and they'd be like, "Oh, cuz, like, put your head in now. Like, you've had a bit of fun. Like, come on, get back on track. You know why you're here." So yeah, grateful to everybody. So yeah, this degree isn't just mine; it's everyone else that I've crossed paths with in the past 5 years. Yeah.
It's a slog down there, eh? Like, it really is. It takes a whole whānau, and you have your uni whānau that help get you through everything down there, because it's a mish.
Definitely. Had to, it was either go to Auckland, go to AUT to do physio, or come down to Dunedin. And there was no way I could afford to live up in Auckland. So, and because it's way too crowded, way too overpopulated up there. So I definitely chose Dunedin, but little did I know I would have no whānau, bloodline whānau down there. But it didn't take long to create one, like Physio, so I was all good. But yeah.
We all had a good crew down there. I reckon, especially, what was it, 2021? That was a vibe, 2021.
Yeah, it was.
That was a vibe. Shout out that Crosby Street flat.
Yeah, 35 Crosby.
Man, hey, those Long Island iced teas.
Tainoreka.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for students looking at Otago University and the physio degree in particular? Do you have any advice for them coming down there and what they should expect or may expect?
Oh, yeah. It's a good question. I think my advice would be, like how I said at the start, apply yourself. If you don't go in not full guns blazing type of thing, but if you don't go in thinking, I need to ask questions, I need to get out of my shell, and if I don't know, it's okay. There were multiple times where I constantly thought, I'm too dumb for this. But it's making sure that you have the right people in your corner to get you through and cross the line. Because let's be honest, I'm not very good at taking exams. I suck at taking tests. But as long as I knew that I had my mates who are willing to, jump on board and be like, "Oh, we'll simplify it for you," or this is like a dumbed down version, but a dumbed down version for you to understand. It was really important. But I think if you want to go to Otago, that's the best uni you can go to, because you have all the support. Whether you're Māori, Pacifica, non-Māori, you have networks there. And I think the best part is that even though I'm in a physio degree, you'll make your friends or you'll make colleagues or people, in different areas, like law. So I'm sus for a lawyer, I'm sus for a dentist, I'm sus for some PE teach, and I think that's the coolest part about Otago, is that you cross paths with different disciplines and different departments, which will then help you in later on in life, I think. Yeah. That would be my only advice, just get involved. Get involved.
Yeah. Get involved, meet people, have some fun, because like this podcast, I've been able to call back people from all over uni, and we've not just had PE students, we've now got physio, we've got business owners, we've got teachers. So find friends and don't be shy. Go ask for help. Go see the whānau at the Māori Centre. They've always got the vibes going on. There's always kai there. There's always a feed going on down there.
Yeah, no, definitely.
What would you say has been your most memorable experience?
My most memorable experience. Got to say grad. Grad was something, not just my grad, when we came to your grad, far out, I just knew there's some top tier stuff. You just see that all that hard work is finally going to get paid off, and you can walk across that stage with your whānau in the crowd, whether they do a hakatopuku for you off, Oh, well, mine did, and I cried like a, I cried, and it was just so epic to have like my whānau there, who, like I'm the first one out of my siblings that have gone to uni, and I cracked it. So like with mum and dad there, it was so much more special. But that's got to be the most memorable moment out of my tertiary journey, other than finally getting into physio, because it took me so long to get into physio. It doesn't always work out first time round, but I was just persistent. I was like, there's nothing I want to do. And I think, I didn't have it in me to do a whole 3-year degree and then all of a sudden maybe try med. Nah, not me. Not me at all.
Yeah, med's a whole different kettle of fish, eh?
Yeah.
So going back to grad, it is a special moment, eh? Like witnessing other people's, especially like for us, we get a Māori grad. So getting to see that space, getting to see so many other Māori achieve amazing things. You're like, oh, I can't wait till my turn. Here we go. And when you finally get your turn, it's an amazing experience. It's worth all the stress.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Yep.
It's so worth
all the hungover tests.
The hungover tests, the mental breakdowns, the got to call my dad at 10 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock to pull my head in. So, my dad was always on speed dial. Like, whenever I felt like, oh, I'm a numpty, I'd just be like, Felicia, can you please tell me I have a brain that works? No. So he definitely pulled me through, especially when it got like rough at times. With lockdown, because I stayed in Dunners for my lockdown, and that was tough. Like being in a cold Dunedin flat, trying to learn physio, like because that was only my first semester into physio. Yeah, we got there. We cracked it
during the first lockdown.
Yeah, that's when I finally got in 2020. Yeah, and then so had to do all of our tests on Zoom, and like you couldn't help but feel like, you're not cheating, but you've got the Zoom, you've got a invigilator watching you, and you're trying to like, keep looking at your camera, but look at your screen to answer your questions. In a normal exam, people are looking around like over here, and I don't know, but you just felt like on edge because you thought, oh no, the invigilator's got a message to say I'm cheating. No, I'm not, I promise. Yeah.
Oh, hell. See, PE, we didn't take it that serious.
Oh.
It's just that.
Well, that was my backup plan. Right. Nah. PE was my backup plan.
If all else fails, just study PE. Free degree, really?
Yeah, nah. Oh, no, it was a main degree.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I think it was more the people that made that degree.
Yeah. No, definitely.
So you talk a lot about how much support you've had throughout this process. How have you made sure that you maintain and, keep those relationships with your support people alive throughout your entire journey through university?
I'm a coffee fiend, so going for a cup of coffee with all of my supports is like always a good one. And I think also recognizing that if there was something that I could do to help those after me or to help those in my year group, I would do it. So, for example, this is going to sound big-headed, but I was tūmwaki for Rukura o Tāne Whakapiripiri for 2021. Yeah, for 2021. And so that role, just, like all those people that supported me, like I was able to be in a role to support, the next ones coming up. So whether that be organising tutorials with Tana Peatley, our one of our tutors, or organising, study wana before exams came along for practicals and all of that kind of stuff, and sharing notes with our younger tauira, but also maintaining and building relationships with the other Māori execs in the different disciplines. So like, for example, Pema, for Māori, like hitting those guys up. So if there was anything that I could do, I would do it. But if there was anything that I couldn't do, I knew who to guide the people to, whether that be to trim or kōhatu or the Māori centre, the PE school, So, yeah. And it's important to be able to have relationships with, like, the different execs as well, because, when we had no plinths to use for an exam wānanga, I was able to hit up Pima. I was able to hit up their president and say, oh, hey, do you got any plinths and borrow in the PE school? And, so be it, we were able to borrow them. So, yeah, it's just, it's all about reciprocity, like we're more of I'm more of a prefer more of a hand up rather than a hand out. Like, I'm not going to take anything if I can't give back, type of thing. Or I'm not going to put myself out there to some or to something or to a kaupapa if it doesn't benefit not just me but you as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a mean philosophy to have too. Is it's all
certainly.
good to take sometimes, but if you keep that hand out, it's just gonna get less and less and less. It gets put in it, man.
Yeah,
got to learn how to give back in other ways.
Definitely.
Being in an exec is a little bit challenging. You get tested in a few different ways, especially being at the top as tumuaki. When I was, just a helper, just like kaiawhina, I'll help out, and then all of a sudden you're getting roles and responsibilities of tumuaki. It's a different level, eh?
Oh, definitely. Like, definitely tested me with my studies and like how you said, that balance as well. But I'm grateful that I had a team. So there was 4 of us on the physio exec. I'm so glad that I was able to delegate roles out or things to do. It wasn't just on my shoulders, but it was also like my whole year group had my back as well. So that was pretty mean, but definitely, I don't expect anyone to do it if I can't do it. So I can't stand that like leadership where it's like, do this. Like, if I won't do it, then I'm not going to expect you to do it, type of thing. So yeah, it was a big learning experience for me as well, because here I was trying to do everything, and then like, my exec were like, we're here too, Tali. I'm like, oh, that's right. Here you go. Take some jobs off my hands, please.
Sometimes you just do it though, because you're like, fuck, if I don't, it's never going to get done.
Cut out. Definitely. Just I've made mental notes in my mind of what needs to be done and what needs to be checked off, and it's just quicker if I do it because I know how I want it done. No. But no, so grateful for the exec team that I had, and even just like, the other execs like Pema and stuff, like we had a really good relationship with Pema, working alongside them as well. So especially when you're like trying to organise social events. Social events not my thing. Really not my thing when it comes to organising those types of things. But, you've got to do it, everybody involved. So you just got to suck it up and get out there and do it.
It's a mache. It's so much organising, so much planning, so much following up.
Emails, I hate them now. From being on exec, can't stand them.
How to like manage your own time and who you are?
It's made me appreciate my own time and who I am now without the role. But like, I was just like, when we had the voting from Handarako over, all yours, mate, all yours. But I think it's what I learned from it is that, everybody's style of how to, I guess, lead is different, and you just got to figure out what works for you. Because at the end of the day, if it's not working and you're not getting your people through or your tauira in and engaging with you, then you're not. You got to look in the mirror and see yourself. So there were times where I was like, I'm booking these study rooms for these guys and they're not even coming in. Like, what a waste of time. But then, had to look in there and be like, well, actually, it's me. I'm probably not asking or putting it out on our Facebook page, like, as frequent as I should, or yeah. But sometimes you just feel like a hoha having to post figures and times on a page. Yeah.
Yeah, it does get like that sometimes, eh? I remember 2019, we were advertising for a study retreat out of just north of Dunedin. And far, anytime the specs exec would post, I'll just be straight under it. So they'll be like, "Oh, come join our party bus. We got the PE bus tour, the mystery bus." Underneath, I'm like, "But don't forget, final exams coming up, so don't forget, come join our study retreat. We got the vibes going on." When they posted the ball photos underneath, yous look cute. You know what? Yous will look even cuter at our study retreat. Come through. I just troll them like that in a way, just to try and get them going. What the fuck are these guns up to?
No, you have to. You gotta be creative, and yeah.
You gotta make it like a fun environment. Otherwise, people just see it as a chore, and they're like, "Ugh, stay away from that."
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's definitely a way to look at it. Is that if you don't make it engaging or you don't make it creative, I guess, then what's the point, eh? What's the point of me rocking up? Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Fano, most of the execs are set up to have fun, but also to help you succeed throughout your journey at university. That's the whole thing, is just to help you meet people, create that Fano down there in Dunedin for you. Meet more Māori, because you can never meet enough. It's always a good time when you're down there with the Māori. I got another question that I written down pre-interview here.
Okay.
How do you think the concept of identity, or in particular, our identity, will change in the future?
Holy hiccup. Okay. So the concept of our identity and how it will change in the future, I think. So you've stumped me. I think the biggest
it's
thing.
It's just your opinion, by the way. This is not false or true.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, numbers of Māori is definitely increasing down it. And I think it's awesome to see that, each profession, each discipline, and each department is growing. So there's going to be a lot more of a representation of Māori in different fields where Māori need to be in order to, create and sustain change for Māori. So I think the future is going to look pretty bright with how many Māori are getting enrolled and actually believing themselves to be like, actually, I can crack it at uni. Whereas, give it probably 10, 20 years back, there was probably no Māoris that were confident enough to be like, yeah, I'm Māori in a space, and I'm going to crack it, and I'm going to make something of my life in a field where I know it's going to, benefit Māori. And I think that's my understanding of the question you were asking. So, yeah.
Yo, I like it. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer to it, right? It's just an opinion based around that question. I love that, though. I reckon you're right. It's a space now where it's kind of quote unquote cool to be Māori. It's the thing to be Māori now. Everyone's trying to throw some kupu in their daily life. So it's cool to see. Finally, we're appreciated.
Definitely. About time, mate. About time. No.
Yeah. But there's definitely some pioneers, especially in the research space, that laid a great foundation for, the likes of us to come through and be inspired to be in those spaces, to occupy the room where once was filled with non-Māori. Now we have some seats.
Yeah. I think that's the best part, is that, we actually have a voice that matters. And, no disrespect to non-Māori, but, they're now questioning, oh, why are you in there? Because I'm meant to be. I'm tangata whenua. No.
Hey, actuals, though. Actuals.
Yeah, I'm Indigenous New Zealand. I'm here, okay? Ready. We're ready to take back, or even to just, live in a civilized, equitable country. Even at grad, going back to grad, Māori grad, it's 7 years. We're disadvantaged by 7 years as a Māori, according to the health statistics. So, like, obviously they want to push more Māori through to see what the problems are so we can, identify them, and then hopefully be up here instead of like this.
That's what we're aiming for. But it's like, we just come in, it's like we hit them and we're like, we're back, brothers. We're back to participate. We're back for this partnership, and we're back to protect what is ours. So we're reclaiming all our rights to that damn treaty that you wanted to make us sign.
Yes. Even though most of us signed the Māori one. Nah, we won't do that.
Nah, but that's a great answer to that question, by the way. I love that. So, building off of that, how has your identity journey through university, has it been changed since your arrival? Have you always been true in who you are, or did you take a break and come back?
I think my identity has developed a bit more. I think it's given a bit more of an appreciation and a willingness to learn about who I am and what Māori stands for. So, like, I've always known Māori, like, coming into it, and then, I met a couple of people down there and was a little jealous of them because, these Māoris were, they were able to grow up on their haukainga. They actually live and they swim in the rivers that they get up and stay in their whiwha, whereas, like, I haven't had that opportunity. Like, I'm from the far north and, like, the mighty Hawke's Bay, but, I've only been up north maybe twice out of my 23 years of living. So, like, it's just making a bit more of an effort. So that's what really drove me to develop my identity, and also, like, making friends with people who, are quite tūturu as well, because, some of them would want to have a conversation in te reo with me, and I'm like, I understand you, but I won't be able to respond to you. Like, we learnt te reo through school and stuff, and going to St. Joe's and that, and so, I had the reo, and then because I didn't use the reo, I lost it, so it's at a point where I'm like, I want to sign back up, and I want to get back involved, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I think this part about it now is that I'm Māori. I'm not just a physio, so I'm a Māori physio. And, like, that's the best part about, the base that I'm going into, is that I'm not just another new grad physio in Cape, at the Cape Clinic. I'm coming in as a Māori to then, shed some light on my perspective as to why they haven't got Māori coming in or why they haven't got Pacific coming in. So, like, just trying to address the outcomes and the barriers that are inhibiting our people from coming in. I think, uni is what developed my identity for me to now have a voice to be like, hey, I'm going to call you out on this. So, it was where I was like, oh, yeah, no. I'm going to own now. I'm going to own it with a bit more of an attitude.
All right, that's so mean.
Yeah.
All right. So now you get to be the brown face in those clinics where, younger ones take their nans and their papa and that to get their checkups, and now they can be like, oh, there's a brown lady here now. Oh, maybe I could do something like that. That's a mean thing for those young ones gonna be seeing you in that space.
Definitely. Like, I had an incident where, it's a story time really. I was in a private practice working in Flaxmere. My supervisor was Māori, and I got to witness him use miri on one of his patients. And I was just blown away that, he was able to incorporate and integrate physio and rongoa Māori. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I learned off you. So I was like, oh wow, like, this is just amazing. So he's got long-term customers that are coming in, for physio or for miri, and it's, like, that stuff's working, and then, like, oh, why is your fella's clinic so busy? Because we're bringing in the clients. That's what it is. Like, we're addressing the problems know, we're addressing the barriers and we're actually listening to our patients and seeing what they want, you know, because they're the one that's sick, they're the one that's hurting. We're just, you know, the channel to try and figure out how we can treat and how we can make things better. So, yeah, like it's just epic to see that Māori, like rongoa Māori and physio can integrate and can work effectively. And it's just the time and this is the place to finally, you know, the ball's rolling and like how far can we make it roll type of thing. So, yeah.
Wow, that's all.
And that's why it was such an easy choice to go with Kate. Like, I knew who I wanted as my mentor for my new grad years. Like, I'm sorted. Yeah.
Man, far out. That's so cool because you would never see that like a few years ago. You'd never see that in practice.
Nah, not a thing at all.
And real quickly before we do move on,
yeah.
Are you able to explain to the listeners and the viewers that might not know what rongoa Māori or miri miri is?
So it's just like a Māori way of healing. So back in the day, Māori were fit, healthy, and able, and it wasn't until, you know, I guess, colonisation came through that, you know, there were different diseases and all that kind of stuff that were primarily affecting our Māori people. And so rongoa Māori is just a way of incorporating like traditional healing methods. So miri miri is, I'll probably ridiculed or slammed for saying it, but it's like massage, but it's more of a spiritual massage with, you know, the toki with the stone and how Māori is like, you know, like incorporating karakia and incorporating, you know, like traditional plants like kawakawa. Like, I can guarantee you, I have a couple of aunties that believe kawakawa balm can cure anything. You know, and they live by it. Say their karakia and they rub their kawakawa balm on, you're sorted type of thing. So it's actually really cool how we can, you know, integrate that rongoa Māori with our, you know, our science-based knowledge. Yeah.
It's mean that now it's being sort of validated as a legit type of science when we already knew. We didn't need just to tell us, but we knew.
Yeah, exactly.
And that kawakawa balm, that's just the Māori Vicks. Chuck Vicks on everything, we chuck kawakawa balm on everything.
Yeah.
Nah, that's mean. Far out. So you've had like a huge experience over the past year then. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's been epic. I mean, it started off with like a little summer internship, you know, where I was looking at the implication of tikanga Māori into clinical practice by recent physio graduates. So it sort of, you know, it was like my little taster into how Māori culture can be incorporated into our physio spaces and our physio environment. And, you know, we just looked how we addressed, I guess, the barriers that Māori are facing. So being time, and time is the biggest coloniser of Indigenous people, was one of the sayings or the statements that came out of my interviews. And cost. So, you know, like, not everybody's got a spare $25 3 a week, you know, to come in for physio treatment. You know, they've also got to ask for time off to then come in. So, you know, they'd wait till they're like real sick. It's bad, you know. So it's like, come on, guys, we're at the preventative end. The doctors are at the cure you now end. So, you know, just like being able to stay on top of that. So, yeah, and that was like epic just to see how some Māori physios out there are wanting to incorporate, you know, like whakawhanaungatanga, like let's get rid of this 20, you know, appointment times and just let it flow, you know, like, oh, yeah, let's make a connection. Like, let's get you to a position where you feel comfortable for me to, you know, ask questions about your injury and be able to touch you and all of that kind of stuff. Because, you know, I've had a couple of my peers like look at me sideways when I'm like, oh, don't touch my head. Like, that's tapu. Like, you got to touch my head. You got to ask. You know, that's where our knowledge is. You know, and then they're like, oh, but why? Like, it's just the head. Or like, what? So you're like having to explain to them, like, this is what tikanga means, you know, this is what the protocols are, you know it as good thing, bad thing, but don't have the reasoning. Like, that's why, type of thing. Yeah, so, yeah, it's just been such a full-on 2022. Yeah, it's just, yeah, can't wait to what else is like in 23 for me, where I'm actually, finally able to have my own patient caseload and see them right through, rather than get like, you know, the 6-week block and then on to the next or the next. Actually see someone right through their injury, which will be pretty cool. Yeah.
Me. Far out. Yeah, you've had a journey and a half, and you can definitely see the energy radiating out of you that you're just ready to rip into it.
Yeah.
Had enough of these holidays. Get in there.
Yeah. Over it.
Nah, that's mean as to hear. So what is the process from your first consultation through to rehabilitated and back to work sort of thing? What does it look like now, and how do you kind of want to see it look in the future?
I think at the moment it's more of a like, all right, we need to get people through the clinic type of thing. Where at times I've witnessed it being, oh yeah, just need to do that, and it's not personalised, if that makes sense. It's like, oh, so hurt your ankle, okay, like, let's do this, let's do that, oh yeah, okay, we'll see you next week. And then you're doing the same thing for ankles, or you're doing the same thing for knees, or you're doing the same thing for shoulders. Whereas, like, if you're actually getting to know what they're trying to get back to, or like, you know, ask out their goals, if you're asking about like their lifestyles, like how active are you, what's your work environment like, you know, like trying to really pull all that information out of them, which is kind of hard to do in like a 40-20, or, you know, or an hour and half an hour, you know, like you're just trying to get all this information out, but you can't have like an hour yarn, because, you know, a lot of people think that, oh, physio, oh, they touch me, or well, I'm not healed if you don't give me a massage, or if you don't give me like a, I don't know, like a manipulation or anything like that. Whereas, like, if I'm giving you exercises, we've had a yarn for an hour, and then I give you an exercise, they ain't coming back, because what did I do? Had a yarn. Whereas people are wanting us to put their hands on. So I think it's really imperative that, you know, we can balance okay, let's get the information. All right, how are you happy to jump on the table and we just through what's going on after I just, you know, have a bit of an assessment? But I think each injury is different, and it's all up to, you know, the patient and their interpretation and their perception of pain as well, which is such a buzzy thing. Like, someone could come in and say they've got sharp shooting pain. Now, sharp shooting pain, taught in the physio school, is considered a flag, right? So if someone comes in and say, oh, I've got sharp shooting pain going down my arm or up my back or down my leg, you think automatically, oh my gosh, you need to go to hospital. Like, as a new grad or as a student, like, no, that's not right. But then once you sort of dig deeper, and then you figure out that actually they're not experiencing sharp shooting pain. It's more of a dull ache, or it's like people having to describe what their pain is like is really difficult at times to try and, you know, it's like pulling teeth. Oh, it's the hardest part about being a physio. It's trying to understand and get them to describe what they're feeling. Yeah. So I think, yeah, that's what's improving over time. But I think, yeah, the process from getting, you know, from coming in through the door with an injury and for them to finally return to what they were doing at 100% is all determined by their perception of pain and by their ability and their willingness to actually, like, you know, get involved and stay engaged. Because, you know, like, people can come to physio and then it's, I guess the best way for me to explain it is, you know, people come in with back pain and, you know, like I do a few like mobilizations, give them a bit of a rub down, you know, and then they come back the next day, oh, they're still feeling the same. Well, did you do exercises? No. Oh, you're now becoming dependent on me, where we're trying to give you back your independence. So, you know, you have that difficult conversation with people as well. So it's like, it's a whole lot of learning and a whole lot of, yeah, trying to navigate through all those different processes as well. So, There's no straight answer for that question.
No, I can definitely sympathise with you there.
Yeah. Thanks, bro.
It was classic. Yeah, well, because, you know, all the uncles here do it. Yeah, what's wrong with your knee? It's all right. Just strap it up. Yeah, but you're hobbling there. Then the next day, up to. Yeah, you're not even moving. You're just in the chair all day. And the next couple of days haven't moved. You're like, up to, man.
Yeah.
It's all right. Just strap it up, boy. We're all right. Fuck you, man.
Pretty much, but you just got to go with it sometimes. And I think the hard part would be having to really put that information across to like your whānau members who think, oh, no, I'm all good. I'm like, you're not good, you know? Oh, we'll just go see the doctor when it gets worse. The point, you know, like you'll be off work and then you're going to complain to me that you're off work. Then you're going to be like, well, who's going to put food on the table when you could be doing something before it gets to that point? But yeah, you just got to choose your words carefully sometimes.
Yeah, it's almost like they're waiting for the bastard to just fall off.
Pretty much.
No, that's mean. Well, so then, what is the biggest takeaway from all of the learnings just before you're heading into the practice as a full timer now? What do you think is your biggest takeaway learning?
My biggest takeaway learning is that we've got 2 ears for a reason and 1 mouth. You know, I can say as soon as I want to a patient, you need to be doing this. It's best if you do that. I recommend you do this. But if you don't listen, they ain't coming back. You know, like if they don't feel like they've been heard or they feel like you're actually listening to what's going on, you're not going to have patients come in and see you because all they're going to think is, oh, this bloody know-it-all thinks about us and all this know-it-all that, you know, whereas like if you actually gave the time to listen to your patients about what's going on and what's troubling them, whether it be physio related or if it's more, you know, life factors influencing this pain, if you can pick up on those, then like physio is going to be a piece of cake, you know, if you can. It's all about communication and listening. So for the time being, as a new grad, for the skills I lack in physiotherapy, I can make up for the fact that I can hold a conversation and I can listen when, you know, and respond appropriately or seek out information or seek out supervision for the patient. Yeah, it's the biggest learning is 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason.
Yeah, single mouth to talk, but you got to double up the listens.
Yeah, exactly.
Right there. All right, there. We'll move into the next segment of the show. We always do this whenever a guest comes on. We've got the Dream Deposit Box.
Oh,
it's a shoebox, but because there's a mean quote on there, it's always remember when they doubted you. So that's why I kind of kept it, because I'm like, yo, love that sentiment. Inside this box, a whole bunch of people have left like some real wholesome dreams, and like me, I've left. What's my worst one? Like I want to own a McLaren, because why not?
Fair enough.
Only like $379,000 away from it, but we'll get there. Other people have left like they want rangatahi to reach their full potential, or they want to have a like land and house for their whānau. And one person just wants to make 30. He's 26 currently. He just wants to make 30.
Okay.
So I was like, bro. Yeah. So there's a wide spectrum of dreams. What is your dream? And once it gets completed, we'll put them all up back there. So every time someone completes a dream, we take it out of the dream deposit box and we place it up on the wall as an active completed dream. And we get to see how many people are living out their dreams.
Yo, okay. Oh,
yeah.
Well, mine won't be getting stuck up on that wall anytime soon, but my dream would be, you know, for for majority of the private practice clinics to allow rongoa Māori, or midi to be covered by ACC. Yeah, that would be mine. If people were able to open up about how they want to be treated and what works for them and their spirituality and their taha wairua, taha tinana, who are we to deny that? So for us to be meet that border, meet that barrier, break it down and be like, okay, righto, you want to go to midi, we can cover it. ACC can cover that, or we'll sort a way out for that. Yeah, because that will bring a whole lot more people in. I know, it'll be epic. Like, it's in the workings. I've had a couple of yarns with some of the people higher up than me, and they said it's in the process. So once I find out that it's working, it won't be because of my doing. I'll just be that nagging one about it. But it'll be up and running, and I think we'll get more people, more of our Māori people, finally getting in there, getting treated, instead of waiting.
Maybe Mark will get off the couch and finally go.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Wow, that's a mean one. Well, it's going in the box, and hopefully that's one of those ones that'll get put up there. It might even end up being a news article or something that we clip up there once it gets achieved.
Yeah.
That'll be mean. That's what we want to see, Whānau. We want to see more of that.
Hard out.
Revitalise our practices.
It'll be revolutionary. Like, it'll be all.
Shit, just go back to the old ways. That's what they're all doing, eh? All the Māori practices are pretty much going like, should we just go back to the old ways? It worked back then, and it probably work now.
Oh, exactly. Like, what have we changed? That used to work. Should we just try and adopt that, and we'll say it to you? Type of thing. Yeah. But no,
you got to wait for the scientists to think it's their great new idea, and they'll be like, you guys should bring back that that Maori shit you do.
yeah, something like that, eh? Well, we'll finally get
there. That'll be mean. Well, building off of that, what makes your dreams is who you are. And so if you had, let's go with 19-year-old Tali sitting across from you, what's some advice you would tell her, or what's something you'd like to say to her?
Ooh. You got it out. It would be, you've got it. Like, you got to make the friends. Whether, they don't have to be the cleverest of the lot, but you make the friends and you will get there. Because at the end of the day, hard work doesn't come, hard work doesn't reap nothing. Hard work reaps something. So, if you have the time and effort, you will get there. And whether it takes you 5 years or 6 years, you'll still get there. Yeah. No, that's what I would say. You got it. You can do it.
Why is you got it the words you'll give yourself?
Well, it sort of stems off the one saying that has been embroidered into me and my siblings' head by parents is, if you think you can and you think you can't, you're right. So if you think you can do it, you're right. If you think you can't do it, you're right. So you always got to think, like, no hurdle is too big, or no hurdle is too small for you to conquer. If you've people on your side, like, if people are going to help you up, they're going to help you up. If people want to push you down, they'll push you down. So you got to know when to cut those cords from people, type of thing. So you got to live life, and you got to go through it, and you got to see what you can do, because we've all got this one life. What's the point of living a mediocre one? So you just gotta do it. Give everything a go, and it works out. It works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Hey,
Yeah, I love that. That's some great advice anyone could use.
Yeah, definitely.
It's pretty much what I'm doing with this. Fuck, we got it. If we don't, oh well, fuck, it was fun while it lasted. All right then. So on the opposite spectrum of that, if you look back on this video in 5 to 10 years, what's something that you'd like to say to yourself as you watch back this video?
Ooh. It would be, have you actually gone over to Aussie to make money like you said? No. Or would be, so I've been handed a saying that I need to for advice. Tis better to attempt. Tis better to attempt and fail than fail to attempt, which was another one that has been embroidered into our heads, but that's too long to remember. The one I remember, you think you can, you think you can't, you're right.
Both very great pieces of advice.
But no, I think, in 5 to 10 years' time, I like to hope that I've thought about starting a master's. I said thought about, didn't say do it. Or even just, be able to come back and, apply all of my clinical knowledge that I've learned, and to readily help the communities and the people that have helped me get through my degree. So I bet like mum and dad have probably got, lined up at the door. Oh yeah, come have a look. Tali's coming into town. We can have a look. Oh, you got a sore ankle? Oh, Tali will have a look. Sore knee, come on through. So yeah, I want to be in a position where I can actually do that. Where they're like, let me just read up about it first. Cool. Let me just have a quick skim read. Yeah. Oh, Uncle Google. No. So yeah, I think the main one would be is to be able to finally give back those that have given to me. Yeah.
That's me. That's powerful. Now, I feel like that's what most Māori want to do, is as soon as they can give back to their communities and to the people who have helped them before this university dream became a thing, to just give back. Yeah,
no, definitely. I think, and it's all about being genuine too, like I always felt a little whakamā writing to like my iwi for a scholarship, because I'm not living there, or I haven't been up, like I was saying, haven't been up north like that many times, but I'm asking them for money type of things to help me get through uni. So I think the genuineness of me saying I actually want to be able to give back to those that have given to me is something that I hold quite dearly to my heart. Like, yeah, they were willing to take a chance on me. Now it's time to pay it forward and pay it back. Yeah. So there's been heaps of opportunities where that, I was like, oh, you've actually taken a chance on me? Me? Like, cool, all right, okay. Now I've got a long list of people that I'm going to get to. But, it's all worth it. It's all worth it.
Hard out. Like, I feel like there's just nothing that can ever repay the amount of gratitude that we have for those sponsorships from our iwi, especially those ones that we didn't really connect with growing up. Like, I was always te awa hard, not too much taranaki hard, and then far by the end of my uni career, up taranaki, they gave us heaps of money.
Yeah.
So blessed and grateful.
Always, man.
And now on to the next gen to do their work. That's it.
Yeah.
So what is next for Tali? What is on the cards for the future?
Well, it would have to be like, I want to be able to potentially land a sports team and be a sports physio, or even, or even just go and work for a Māori healthcare provider. Try and establish a contract there with one of the Māori healthcare providers in my iwi. It's just endless. Like I said, a master's, potentially looking at a master's, and like not going the science side, we'll go like the rongoa Māori side. Or even just, a long-term future would be to open up my own practice and, and to incorporate it make it more of like a holistic rather than this is a doctor and a nurse and this is the psychosocial model and the biomedical model. Like it'll be kaupapa Māori driven type of thing, like
Yo.
the Māori way of living, and this is how we can treat it, Yeah.
That'll be
That's the
vish.
future.
That'll be vish.
Yeah. All I know is that my future's bright. Yeah, hard. Yeah, all I know is that, the world's my oyster. And I just can navigate any path I want to go down and then detour back.
Yep. Exactly. And like you said, like shit.
Yeah.
If it don't work out, well, hey, at least you tried.
Yeah, exactly.
Father, hey, just remember that masters, it's not worth it. Nah, jokes.
Oh yeah, I said we'll see. I said thought about it, eh? Nah, who knows?
That's where you should leave it.
Oh, don't be like that. Nah.
No.
We'll see what
Oh,
happens.
mean. Nah, that's mean. And we're getting close to the wrap up time here. So, is there anything you'd like to say before we go? Is there anything that you've got going on that you want the people to know about?
I think the only thing I'd have to say is it's been an honour and a privilege to jump on and have a yarn with you, bro. Like, it's been fun. Who would have thought, eh? Who would have thought? But I think, to anyone that's listening, like, if you think you can and you think you can't, you honestly can do anything. Like, you can actually, dreams don't have to be just dress because, exactly. You can actually get out there and do it. With the right support and the right people in your corner, anything's possible. Even for a little hoary from Dannevirke.
Got the hoary from Dannevirke, the hoary from Waitara.
Yeah.
The hoaries are making moves. Don't you worry.
Yeah. Don't you worry.
Nah, blessed, and it's so privileged to have you on the show today, Talia. Thank you so much for your time. It's been crack up as having you on here. I'll link your socials down below in the description as well for anyone that wants to get in contact. Maybe they want to know how to become a physio, what they need to do, or they might just want to know more about this can and can't attitude. We'll leave it at that, whānau. Shout out to Tali. Thank you so much for jumping on the show with us today. And for all the listeners, thank you so much for listening. It's been so much fun having you guys here. Really enjoyed this one. It's been great. This is 99 Dreams podcast. Mōri ora and take care.